Hey, so you know how our Carole King video dropped the other day?
Yeah.
So I watched it, reading the comments, and I was like watching our commentary at the end, and I was like watching myself, kind of like when you brought up that the chorus wasn't like your favorite, or that it felt like weaker than
Yeah.
the verse or whatever. I kind of like addressed and you said you felt like the chorus should always be like the highlight of a song, or always over like a verse or whatever. I remember like seeing myself like talk about that more than just the actual take on the chorus itself, because I was listening to the song this morning, and I think I came across like super neutral on the chorus in general, but I gave heavy praise on the verse.
Yeah.
But honestly, I freaking love the chorus, dude.
I never thought the chorus was bad, and I think that chorus in a normal song would be a great chorus. The problem is she set a really high bar with the verse, and so when you compare the two, I just feel like for most times where I'm listening to a song, whether it's writing or hearing somebody else do a song, I feel like you always want to have some sort of emotional peak somewhere, and that usually comes in the verses. I feel like in most songs, the emotional peak is in the verses because you're being able to tease out some storyline, some intricate emotional portrait. And in the chorus, usually that's just wrapping it up in a really concise way. Very rarely do you have, for example, like a longer chorus than verse. Because if that's the case, you end up just labeling one the chorus and one the verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in the same way, I just feel like the chorus was really good, but the verse was so stunningly good that I needed a chorus that came up to bat next to it.
I see where you're coming from, but honestly, like upon listening to it, I listened to it yesterday when it dropped, and then on my way here today, and like legitimately, I think I like the chorus more than the verses.
Really?
Like in general, just in general. Like, look, because I think I kind of like went after or was wanting to like kind of talk on or banter with the idea of that the chorus should always be better. I got kind of hung up on that, but like really kind of like listened to it like a couple times since the video, and I think I literally like the chorus, like not substantially more, but like a very good like amount more, to where like when I was listening to it, straight ear candy.
It's not a bad chorus by any means. And I also don't think necessarily, I think I just want to tease apart one thing too. I don't think a chorus has to be your favorite part of the song. I think of Vienna. I like the verses to Vienna. And actually a lot of Billy Joel songs, I like the verses to them more than I like the choruses. But the choruses are literally on paper, they're catchier. They just are. And so to me, that's like my pinnacle, is like having verses that I appreciate more in some aspects, but a chorus that sounds like when you listen to the song and I'm like, oh, how does that song go? And you start singing it, then it's like the catchiest part is usually what you sing.
Yeah, I guess like when I was listening to it, I just noticed that, you know, there was like a really cool like rhyme in the chorus. I really liked how a lot of the words she was like rhyming and just saying in general like had like the I vowel, like just like going on like that. And then just the melodic intervals felt like so nice. And there's like a specific section where it's just like straight like ear candy, and that kind of gives you a second, and then it goes into like some more ear candy, and then it kind of like fades off into like some cool like vocal trails and stuff. And it's just like it feels super buttery. Now the reason, almost to the point where I considered S tier, like, you know,
really?
consider changing it to S tier in my head, but each time I listened to the song, I also gave the guitar solo a fresh listen each time, and it didn't get better.
That's fair.
Didn't get better.
So funny that the guitar solo was not an issue at all for me. It was
like, so it's like we're both at A+, but for like
different reasons.
Yeah. The same, it's just flipped. That's so funny.
That's cool. I mean, what did the comments say? I didn't look at much in the comments because it just dropped.
I mean, not many people kind of like addressed like a lot of people agreed with like the guitar thing, like, but so many people had your same perspective where they're like, I didn't even think about the guitar thing at all, but now that you say it, I think you got a point there.
Yeah.
I saw at least like 10 of those. So funny. And just a lot of people just harping so hard on how like great of a songwriter she is, just in such an iconic sense. Like,
I'm down to him more.
Apparently, she's written like hundreds of like top 10 like hits.
That's
basically.
Cool.
And just a lot of her writing though was before she even started releasing her own music.
Yeah.
Like, she was writing for bands like I think the Monkees, I believe, but a bunch of other groups also.
Yeah.
And just did a bunch of that before.
Well, modern times that happens to a lot of artists. Like that happened to Sia. She was writing massive hits before she ever got famous.
Yeah.
Like number ones. And then she's like, I guess I could do this.
Yeah. So just very, very excited about it. Oh, I also saw a couple comments, people saying like, oh, I can't believe you guys like, you know, even accidentally compared Joni Mitchell and Carole King, but yada, yada, yada. I was like, I mean.
Hold on. I saw a comment where somebody was like, hey, by the way, just so you know, Joni Mitchell, and I forget who the other person was, but they actually sang backup on the record. So,
they're friends.
Yeah.
They're friends, right? Or they were? I don't know.
Close enough that you sang backup on a record. I think that's worth comparison. That means you're at least listening to each other's music.
That's
for
true.
sure.
Yeah.
So
cool stuff. Well, we'll see. We'll check out more songs from both of those fine ladies.
So with that being said, we'll catch you next video.
Peace.